Welcome back to Football Daily for our annual look at the 10 biggest stories in the Championship this season. It's been another dramatic year in the second tier, so let's jump straight in. 10. Ben Brereton Díaz. Is there a footballer who's enjoyed a more iconic rise to fame than Ben Brereton Díaz? The Blackburn forward has gone from a promising, if unheralded Championship talent from Stoke-on-Trent to a worldwide star ever since Chile approached him to play international football. Even that story is the stuff of cinema, with the Chilean FA only being alerted to his availability thanks in part to Football Manager. Brereton added Díaz to his name, the maiden name of his Chilean mother, and subsequently scored against Bolivia at the 2021 Copa America. Now making headlines on two continents, Brereton Díaz kicked on this season. By January, he had scored 20 for the Rovers, who looked set for a long overdue promotion push under Tony Mowbray. Truth be told, the 23-year-old's performances have dropped off in 2022. He's netted once in the past 12 matches, a period where Blackburn have only won twice to fade from playoff contention. Heartbreak for those at Ewood Park, but not for Brereton Díaz. Although he is contracted to Blackburn until 2023, reported interest from Sevilla to Fenerbahce and the Premier League means a big money move should be on the cards for him this summer. 9. Broken Barnsley. Last season, everyone marvelled at Barnsley as they roared to a 5th place finish. Under the watch of the little-known manager Valérien Ismaël, the club followed a moneyball approach to find bargains in the market and surge up the table. However, a defeat to Swansea in the playoff semi-finals would bring their fairy tale adventure to an end, extending the Tykes' absence from the Premier League to 24 years. This season, however, that fairy tale has capitulated into a nightmare. Ismaël was poached by West Brom along with their star midfielder Alex Mowatt, while Daryl Dike, who scored 9 during an impressive 6-month loan from Orlando City, would return to America only to join up the Baggies in January. Barnsley's defeated squad has failed catastrophically to reproduce the kind of form that got Oakwell dreaming last term. They will finish flat bottom in the Championship with just 6 wins to their name. They are on to their 3rd permanent manager of the campaign, while Cauley Woodrow has gone from scoring 27 in his past 2 seasons to just 4. It's back to League One for Barnsley, who face a long old road to the top once more. 8. Neil Warnock retirement. After 41 years and 1,556 games on the touchline, the unthinkable has finally happened. Neil Warnock is no longer a football manager. Yes, having been sacked by Middlesbrough in November, the 71-year-old has decided to call time on his involvement in the game, which stretches back to 1967 when he first appeared as a winger for Chesterfield. He would go on to represent the likes of Scunthorpe and Barnsley before stepping into management in 1980 with Gainsborough Trinity. 6 years later, Warnock earned his first promotion with Scarborough, before guiding Notts County from the 3rd to the 1st Division by 1991. In total, the passionate Yorkshireman managed 16 separate clubs, achieved 8 promotions and produced endless iconic interviews and team talks. He would work in the Premier League, but the Championship was where he really came alive. Warnock led Sheffield United, QPR and Crystal Palace to the top tier and saved Rotherham from the drop with a stunning 6 wins and 6 draws from 16 matches in the 2015-16 season. He was named Championship Manager of the Month on 11 separate occasions. A Football League legend, they don't make them quite like Neil Warnock anymore. Let's hope he enjoys his well-earned retirement. 7. Fábio Carvalho. There have been a number of teenagers who have shone this term. Levi Colwill has been a massive presence in the Huddersfield defence, while at Derby, Luke Plang and Festi Ebasele have shone in their ill-fated fight for survival. However, above all else, Fulham's Fábio Carvalho has emerged as the real teenage sensation. The 19-year-old's talent was already well documented. Last term he appeared 4 times and scored once in the Premier League, causing their manager Scott Parker to declare that Carvalho had a massive future in the game. Sure enough, this season the Portuguese-born playmaker has scored 10 and assisted 8 from 35 appearances, while his 2 key passes per 90 trails just Harry Wilson in the white squad. Fulham were desperate to keep hold of him, but with his contract expiring this summer, were powerless to stop inevitable interest in his services. According to The Athletic, Liverpool have agreed a fee that could reach above £7 million to sign him. In the process of avoiding the tribunal, the clubs endured when Harvey Elliott made the same move north. Elliott has more than earned his place among Europe's elite since switching to Anfield, and hopes will be high that Carvalho can follow by his example. 6. Luton Town. It is amazing to think that financial difficulties saw Luton Town plunge to the depths of the conference as recently as 2013. But how life has changed for the Hatters since then. By 2019, they were back in the Championship, thanks in part to the arrival of Nathan Jones as their manager. The Welshman took Luton to the top of League One before stabilising them in the Championship following an ill-fated switch to Stoke City. Last season, they finished 12th, itself a huge achievement. But now Jones has Luton dreaming of a remarkable promotion to the Premier League with the playoffs on the horizon. Quite incredibly, Luton, wary of their previous mistakes, have only paid out for 2 players in the past 6 years to the tune of £1.6 million. Instead, Jones has moulded a quality championship squad with shrewd free signings, loan deals and excellent coaching. They aren't the most expansive team, enjoying the least possession in the division and taking the 4th fewest shots, but they're fast and direct, rely heavily on long balls and score plenty from set pieces. Luton and Jones are quite simply a match made in heaven, and while they're together, the only way is up. 5. Reeling Reading. Ever since the elusive Chinese businessman Dai Yong bought Reading in 2017, the club have splashed close to £30 million in the pursuit of the Premier League. This spending has got out of hand, as last season their wages sought to double what they earned, attracting the scrutiny of the EFL. Reading tried to balance the books by selling the talented Mikael Olise for a measly £8 million and releasing 4 other players, but the damage was done. The Royals were handed a 6-point penalty in November. The club suffered a humiliating FA Cup defeat to the National League Kidderminster Harriers, while Paul Ince and Michael Gilks have only kept Reading in the Championship thanks to Derby's points deduction. But their troubles are only just getting started. Of the permanent squad, 14 players are out of contract this summer and 5 more are set to leave in 2023. This lack of association with the team and the general drama behind the scenes is driving the fans away, with an average of just 13,000 attending the Madejski Stadium. It's a little more than half its capacity. Out of sight, out of mind, Dai Yong is rarely, if ever, seen supporting the Berkshire outfit in person. Few believe he is really the man to get the club back on track. 4. West Brom Woes. In the summer, optimism was high that West Bromich Albion could bounce straight back to the Premier League. Fringe players like Charlie Austin, Kieran Gibbs and Hal Robson-Kanu were moved on, while Alex Mowat and Adam Reach were signed along with a fresh new manager in Valérien Ismaël. It cost them £2 million to prize him away from Barnsley. By February, they were 6th. Not bad, but they had been flirting with automatic promotion before an alarming run of 1 win and 7 saw them fade away. The fans started to become impatient with Ismaël's insistence on high-pressing and direct football, which offered little tactical flexibility. This frustration was shared by the players, leading to public bust-ups with the influential Robert Snodgrass and Sam Johnston. Ismaël was sacked and Steve Bruce brought in. However, the veteran coach quickly discovered what a mess he had inherited. 5 wins and 7 losses from 16 has seen the Baggies fall to 10th, their lowest finishing point since the 1999-2000 campaign. The squad is stale and demoralised, while the controlling shareholder Guo Chun-Lai has cut an absent and uninspiring figure. Getting West Brom back into the Premier League might just prove to be one of Bruce's toughest challenges to date. 3. Steve Cooper. The once mighty Nottingham Forest have become symbolic of how the Championship can suck you in. The 2 times European champions have been out of the Premier League since 1999 and stuck in the second tier for 13 straight seasons. They have become a revolving door of managers and players as they desperately hunt for the key to promotion. 2021-22 looks set to be another miserable year in purgatory for Forest after Chris Hughton was sacked in September with the club flat bottom in the table. Step in Steve Cooper, the mastermind of England's under-17s World Cup victory and fresh off a 2-year spell with Swansea. Very quickly, the Welshman has worked his magic at the City ground. From 40 matches in charge, Cooper has won 25 and only lost 6 times. That includes a narrow loss to Liverpool in an FA Cup run that saw them defeat Arsenal, Leicester and Huddersfield. Cooper has made stars of youngsters including Manchester United loanee James Garner, Jed Spence and the Welsh sensation Brennan Johnson, who has 15 goals and 10 assists to his name from midfield. A loss to Bournemouth denied them automatic promotion, but they're still favourites to power through the playoffs. Should that happen, Forest can dare to dream again. 2. Magical Mitrovic. 12 months ago, we rightly celebrated Ivan Toney's record haul of 31 goals in a regular 46-game championship season. The Brentford forward had broken Glenn Murray's tally of 30, a record that had stood for 8 years. However, we didn't have to wait so long to see the history books rewritten once more, as this year, Fulham's Aleksandar Mitrovic has not just beaten Toney's record, but absolutely demolished it. With 1 match left, the Serbian hitman has netted an astonishing 43 times, running at a rate of a goal a game. Clearly loving life under Marco Silva, Mitrovic has soared to a career-high 4.7 shots per 90, scoring 1 out of 5 efforts on goal. Harry Wilson has been an excellent dancing partner, providing 10 assists for Mitro, with the pair helping Fulham storm to the league title. The 27-year-old has not just broken the championship record, but Guy Whittingham's second division haul of 42 goals set in 1993, managed 11 years before the rebranding of the league. It's truly been a year to remember for Mitrovic, but now it's time to see if he can finally deliver in the Premier League. Fulham's survival will depend on it. 1. Derby's downfall. What else could be number 1 than the downfall of Derby County? Under the ownership of Mel Morris, the Rams gambled on reaching the Premier League and failed. at one point spending 150% of their revenue on wages. Morris got creative to avoid the EFL's financial regulations, even selling Pride Park to a separate company he owned, but others called foul play. Both Middlesbrough and Wycombe Wanderers accused Derby of financial cheating, while the club's players had to wait for their wages. This season, the EFL finally reacted, handing the Rams a massive 21-point penalty, and in September, the club entered administration. Wayne Rooney has been left fighting fires all year. A transfer embargo meant at one point the club had just 9 registered first-team players in pre-season, and the former England striker has often had to dip into the academy just to field a side. Still, they managed to collect a very respectable 55 points, which without the penalty would have been enough for 17th in the table. However, despite their best efforts, they were still relegated to League One for the first time since 2004. Rooney has vowed to bring them back, but the club is still up for sale and in dire straits. Check out our FD Explained on how it all went wrong at Derby County if you'd like to know more. So that was our take on the 10 biggest stories in the Championship this season. What have we missed? What have we got spot on? Let us know in the comments down below. Will Mitrovic's record ever be beaten? We want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, why not hit the like button and subscribe to Football Daily with that notification bell switched on. We'll see you next time.